I'm ranking every single way a coach can get clients in 2026 from the worst to the absolute single best way. And there's one rule for this ranking. The only thing that scores points is how many booked calls each method puts on your calendar every single month. That's the entire ranking criteria. Now, real quick, why should you listen to me? Over the last 6 years, I've worked with brands like Ferrari, FIFA, Jake Paul, and some of the biggest YouTube channels in the world. More recently, I took one of my coaching clients from 78,000 views a month to over 255,000, 44 book sales calls, and $67,000 in added revenue in 90 days, all directly from YouTube. So to get right into it, we have cold email, which of course is going into F tier. Now, if you're a coach, you probably already know this. This doesn't really need much to hit on. I don't really have much to say, except if you're actually thinking about doing cold email as a coach to get clients, you're cooked, bro. It's arguably the coldest traffic that you could possibly think, and pretty much every step of the process is an uphill battle. Now, don't get me wrong, I think there are some niches that actually really benefits from cold email. For example, like B2B SaaS or something like that. But even then, I still think there are much better client acquisition channels than cold email, especially with like AI personalized emails just being blasted from absolutely anyone. Inboxes are like very saturated right now. So I really don't think cold email is any good at all for getting coaching clients. I've yet to see anyone actually killing it so far with cold email for their coaching program. But if you want to prove me wrong, let me know in the comments. Now, this next one actually used to be quite successful for some time. However, especially in 2026, it's not nearly as effective as it used to be, and that is cold DMs. Now, the keyword here is cold DMs. Messaging inbound leads is a completely different story. Obviously, it does pretty well. However, if you're sending out mass outreach via the DMs, it is better than cold email by far because of the fact you do have your social proof in your profile attached to the DM, so they can actually see what results you've gotten, what other people are saying about you, like what you do, all that good stuff. It is attached to the DM. However, it just does not scale without hiring or spending a bunch of money on AI automations. Like, you are capped by either your VAs or your setters output, or how much you're willing to send yourself, or how much you're willing to spend on AI automations. Now, number 4, this is the one a lot of you are spending a lot of money on, pouring a lot of money into, and that is paid ads. Now, I know this is a bit of a controversial pick because paid ads can genuinely be one of the best growth strategies for predictable lead volume, predictable input, and predictable client acquisition. However, there are quite a few caveats and prerequisites before it starts to actually make sense for you to run yourself. Let's say you have 2 identical coaches, same niche, same offer, same everything, same amount of results. However, one of these coaches has a great Instagram, great personal brand, shows testimonials, results, case studies, process, confidence, all of it on their Instagram page. And the other coach has nothing, has maybe a couple hundred followers, a few posts of like him and his buddies on a boat, but not really much at all on who they are, what they do, the results, etc. Those 2 coaches could run the same exact ad, and still the one with the strong social presence is going to get infinitely better results than the coach that doesn't. And the reason being is that in most cases, instead of clicking learn more and going directly to the VSL page, they're gonna tap on your profile. They're gonna look through your results. They're gonna look through your page and see if you're actually legit and see what other results you've gotten for other people in their same situation. But my whole point being is that when someone sees you off a cold traffic ad, they've only spent 30 to 60 seconds with you. If they watch the VSL, another 10 to 40 minutes max. And that just simply is not enough time to build enough trust to actually wanna go ahead and drop multiple thousands of dollars on your offer. Now, this next one can make you feel like you're winning. You know, views are up, saves are up, but the calendar is still empty. And these 2 things aren't connected at all. And there's one very specific reason why, and that is short form organic content. Now, I actually love short form as a good top of funnel lead source. However, again, you need more to actually convert someone into a warm, ready to buy lead. It is free. The barrier to entry is very low. You can easily pump out 5 to 10 reels a day, just whipping out your phone, talking to it. But the thing is, you need to be very specific with how you approach Instagram and short form in general. I've personally had reels that get 1 million, 2 million, 6.5 million views, and they didn't end up getting me a single lead. And I wish I was kidding when I say that, but it's the truth. And the reason why is those reels that I posted were not targeted towards my ICP whatsoever. And I learned a very valuable lesson from that, and that is you need to be speaking directly to your ICP in all of your content. But again, this is great for being seen. This is great for getting a lot of top of funnel traffic into your ecosystem, bringing someone into your realm, into your ecosystem, and into your funnel. And it's also great for nurturing. However, it's not the most efficient at all at actually converting these leads into paying customers. Now, number 2, in terms of close rate, this is the absolute best out of everything on this entire board, even beating number 1. So why is it stuck at number 2? Well, that gap is a point of this entire video, and that is word of mouth / referrals. Now, I know word of mouth and referrals gets a lot of flack in like the online info space because it's not scalable. That's really the main thing. It's not scalable, and that is what keeps it from being a number 1 ranking. However, inbound referrals are quite literally the warmest leads you'll ever have in your entire life. Now, again, the one thing that holds referrals back from being number 1 on this list is the fact that you can't turn it on or off, you can't scale it up, and you don't really have too much control over it. Referrals and word of mouth is just a byproduct of getting great results for your clients and doing great work, but it's not quite the client acquisition system you can simply just turn it on and off and scale it up as far as you want. So what if you could get referral level close rates, but you can actually scale them up or down as you need? Not only that, but you actually own the acquisition channel. Well, that takes me right to number 1, which is, of course, YouTube, the absolute GOAT of conversion. Now, this is the only source that's both high close and you fully own it. You control it. You control that asset. And this is the number that no one tracks, and that is close rate by source. The lead that books a call from YouTube has already watched hours of you, so they close like a referral. But the thing is, you can generate this on demand. You have control over the lead flow from YouTube. Not only that, but this is the only source in this entire list that actually compounds as time goes on and as you continue to build up this lead source. So you'll have calls coming in that get booked from videos that you posted literally 2 years ago. And the only thing you had to do is get somewhat smart about the type of content that you post, content that's actually going to attract your ICP, and spend just 1 to 2 hours a month filming that content. That's it. And that's what makes YouTube so good. Every other lead source in this list gives you completely cold, essentially strangers, or you're relying on pretty much luck. And I've seen this with my own clients, and like nothing even comes close. This is how I was able to generate my client Marcel over $67,000 in just 90 days from YouTube, all directly attributed to YouTube, 44 booked calls, and we were able to triple his views in that time frame. Now, again, like I said, those numbers were directly attributed to YouTube. Those were calls and revenue generated directly from like the book a call link in the description. Now, the great thing about YouTube, which I don't see a lot of people talking about, is the downstream effects it has on all of your other acquisition channels. So once you start getting consistent on YouTube, you'll start to see, if you're doing cold outreach, your reply rates start to rise. You'll start to see a boost in performance from your cold traffic ads. And the reason being is you'll start to be much more top of mind with your YouTube content. These prospects have already spent hours watching you, making them so much warmer by the time they actually want to reach out and take the next step. So that's all 6 ranked from worst to best. And if you set up your YouTube channel to speak to buyers, not just browsers, I have zero doubt it'll outclose every single other option on this list. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, doing all of this yourself means becoming a scriptwriter, thumbnail expert, got to understand packaging, becoming a YouTube analyst, etc., all on top of running your own business and fulfilling for your own clients. Now, odds are you probably don't want to spend half your life learning how to do all of this yourself. It took me personally 6 years and a lot of expensive trial and error working with brands like Ferrari, Jake Paul, FIFA, and a lot of the biggest YouTube channels in the world to finally crack this content system and understand the psychology behind making a good YouTube channel, but also one that actually brings in leads on autopilot. So if you'd rather skip the learning curve, that's exactly what my team and I do. We build the entire YouTube system for coaches completely done for you. The ideation, scripting, editing, thumbnail design, SEO, literally everything A to Z. So if that's something you want, there's a link below to apply. And if you're not ready for that, no problem at all. Instead, I just want you to spend the next 60 seconds thinking, if you have a channel, how can I make my videos and my content just 10% better? How can I speak and understand my client's language better than anyone else and package that into an intriguing idea for YouTube? But that's all for me today. So if you like this video, make sure to drop it a like and make sure to subscribe.